It's starting. Yay! Okay. It just takes a really long time. Alright. Okay, this is good. I'm going to stop all the things that I've got waiting here. And here we are. Each stream this week has started with some confusion. I guess it just takes a really long time for Streamlabs to get to the machine, however that works. So, my name is Kyla Tilley. I am a singer-songwriter, and I live in Newfoundland and Labrador. But for a short period of time, many, many years ago, I lived in Australia. And there's a lot of differences between Newfoundland and Australia, one being the size of the creatures that have more than 4 legs. And this is a sad tale of one such creature. My mother told me to be careful, to mind where I'm treading when I leave the nest. You'd be wise to watch where you're going. The route you are keeping could shorten your life, but young roaches are often unheeding. They think they're immortal, a reckless belief. For you never know what may be lurking at night in the kitchen, awaiting a meal. Now lately, the way to the pantry had strangely been clearer than ever before, and sadly I let my mind wander, forgot mother's cautions, fell into routine, and I did not see 8 furry legs hiding under the counter until I saw myself reflected 9 times over in her ugly eyes. Her mandibles clicking excitedly, I heard her tummy growling as she gazed hungrily at me. Well, she had me, and I could do nothing, nor could my brothers beside transpire. I thought fondly of moonlight and breadcrumbs, all of those good things I'll never more see, when a shadow fell over the kitchen, a human had entered. I thought myself safe, but damn humans think I am more filthy than the guns and oppression. They side with the huntsman and leave me to die, leave me to die. Her mandibles clicking excitedly, I heard her tummy growling as she gazed hungrily at me. Well, she had me, and I could do nothing, nor could my brothers beside transpire. I thought fondly of moonlight and breadcrumbs, and all of those good things I'll never more see, when a shadow fell over the kitchen, a human had entered. I thought myself safe, but damn humans think I am more filthy than their guns and oppression. They side with the huntsman and leave me to die, leave me to die. Well, my species has been here far longer, and we will outlast them. We will live through all their nuclear war. But I shall not see that day, or any other, or any other. Alas, the only thing I'll see is the lair of the huntsman, and my poor old mother will know it's the last thing I saw before I died. That's The Roach's Lament. That's on my first EP, Whimsies. I'm going to go now to a song that is on my first album, New Shoes, and this is a little love song that I wrote about myself from the point of view of my long-suffering husband. And there was a period of time some years ago where we were living in a one-bedroom apartment in Montreal, but we're people with hobbies and interests and things. You know, there's guitars, there's shoes, there's a lot of books, CDs, that sort of thing. And we had no shelves. And my husband was very content to live with our belongings in piles along the edges of the walls, but I was not. And I kind of lost my mind over it and became completely obsessed with this issue. And it caused a non-trivial strain on our relationship. But then I wrote this song, and well, you'll see. This is Adequate Shelves. There's not much space here in our domicile. Our limited storage has taken your mind. Once you were vibrant and full of ideas, I was so taken by your artistry. Then anytime inspiration would strike, you let the mundanities of life slide. Now you feel inundated by our lot. I try to engage you, but all you can say is adequate shelves. Adequate shelves. I've seen you suffer fixations before, plunging your energies into one goal. But this time it's different. It worries me, love. It seems you've lost sight of all you hold dear for adequate shelves. Adequate shelves. A place for everything, and everything in its place. Cleanliness is next to godliness. I suppose home decor is a creative pursuit, but honey, you're taking the notion a little too far, don't you think? You enter the pupae a butterfly, you come out a worm. This metamorphosis disturbs me. I used to come home to your joyous embrace. The beautiful music we made was divine. You whispered the naughtiest words in my ear, but when I lean closer now, you just murmur adequate shelves. Adequate shelves. What can I do to bring you back? I've tried reasoning, I haven't tried everything. gotta do. So much for lingerie, chocolate and jewels. Since your notion of Swedish porn's been revised, I'll bite the bullet, attempt to provide adequate shelves. Adequate shelves. Adequate shelves. Right. Well, we'll stick to I think we're entering a little bit of a domestic phase of the set list. This next song is about a very beautiful set of dishes, and I saw this beautiful set of dishes, the Wedgwood pattern, Wedgwood Company. We all know the Wedgwood Company, but Sarah's Garden was the name of the pattern, and they're all different. They're sort of different colors, and they've got beetles and bees and butterflies, and they're very, very pretty. And I saw a set in a kitchen store on my way home from the bar one night, and I kind of stood out and looked in the window, because of course the store was closed, and there's all the lights on these beautiful, beautiful, pretty dishes. And I went home and I wrote this song. This is also on the New Shoes album. On a dusty road in a small town in Ontario, trying to get the kids to school on time. Married 14 years, but nothing really the matter. Well, Eloise only had just one complaint. Now, Eloise didn't ask for much in this life, and Eloise got little in return. She was happy enough in the town she always said she'd come back to. She was happy enough in the town that she never left. Wedgwood pattern, Sarah's Garden, botanical Latin written on every plate. While driving out into town to buy the groceries, she passed by a Mary Ann's store every week. And in the window and inside on the counters, Sarah's Garden dishes were for sale. Well, she memorized every cup and every saucer, the tattered brochure stored beneath her bed, with her fingerprints tattooed on the display window, showing in this life sometimes wishing ain't enough. A Wedgwood pattern, Sarah's Garden, botanical Latin written on every plate. Salt and pepper never looked better. The ladybugs crawling all over the cups. While she had an egg cup that her husband bought her, it was the only thing in the store he could afford, and she cherished it like the diamond ring he gave her. And now hard-boiled eggs are her favorite thing to eat. But Eloise has this fantasy regarding a tea party in a wild grove, all natural table and chairs, and at every chair a full place setting, matching spoons and all, and everyone who Wedgwood pattern, Sarah's garden, botanical Latin written on every plate, salt and pepper never looked better, ladybugs crawling all over the cups, Wedgwood pattern, Sarah's garden. I've got this funny little practice amp here for my little hotel shows. I sort of had found a spot to set it just so, but I don't know if I've still got that spot, but there we go. If you can hear me singing, I think that's the main thing. All right, this next one is a song that I wrote after I painted my house. So I moved into a house about last year, and when we moved in, the walls in the room that are now my studio were like a dark apricot, dingy apricot. I think if I was to put it on one of those little strips of color shades to sell to people, I would call it dingy apricot. And our living room and bedroom were like moldering purple. It was very unpleasant. And after years of living in Montreal apartments, I just want white walls. I think they're beautiful. I want to live in an art gallery, basically. So that's what I was going for. So I was like, all right, we're going to buy some white paint. We're going to paint these walls white. And I discovered two things. One, you can't just buy white paint. And two, I am not a house painter, but I did paint the entire house. So this is called In the Grand Scheme of Things. Paint settled in the fibers of the carpet on one edge where the tape was less secure. I did my best to soak it up, but latex hardens much too swiftly that my reflexes could snare. Well, there go all my efforts for a clean job, there go my endeavors for a perfect home. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, I poured over too many shades of white. Who knew such a number could exist? It was far more complicated than I was expecting, and by the end of it, just kind of picked one. There goes all the time that I spent thinking, there goes all my planning, all my careful choice. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it didn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. So many jagged edges where a hole was cut for piping, or a molding isn't quite flush to the wall. I broke so many tiny brushes made of foam just trying to jam that paint into those corners. When I was all done, there were still spaces, places that I missed where the old shows through. But in the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't really matter. In the grand scheme of things, what matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the feeling of renewal. What matters is a place to sip our coffee. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark now. What matters is the house is not so dark. So I'm going to move, I guess I'm going to move from the shelving and the dishes and the walls and into the cupboards. This song came about because of a green room chat after a Ham Bones open mic, in which we were all kind of talking about how in this pandemic world where we've become little virtual boxes, everyone's backdrops had sort of slowly evolved, and one of the people who would attend the open mic had ended up with like a full-on stage built in his garage. But at the beginning, he was streaming from his desk, and sitting on his desk for everyone to see was a huge box of graham crackers. And you know how people are. You get together and you talk about things, and one thing leads to another, and various scenarios for why he would have such a large box of graham crackers were generated. And as all this was going on, I remembered a very odd but true story involving graham crackers. And then as I thought about that, I thought about another true event in my life that involved graham crackers in a somewhat significant way. And so I went home and I wrote this song. I was already home. I turned off the computer and I wrote this song. So this is two true stories formed into one. Got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a second-hand store. I didn't question it, I just accepted. Put it in my bag and got out of there. Put it in the cupboard, it moved with 2 apartments. Couldn't bear the thought of leaving it behind. I got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a second-hand store. I kept that box of graham crackers around for several years because they don't go bad. They came in handy for sweet cravings, and every time I ate one I had a little laugh. What kind of cookie has an origin story? Would I ever uncover its mysterious past? I kept that box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a second-hand store. But why would a clothing store be handing out crackers? How did they get so many boxes to begin with? Did someone see a deal they couldn't walk away from? Did someone rob a truck and find a disappointing cargo? Did someone just believe a graham cracker could make your day? What kind of regulations did that giveaway fall under? I had that box of graham crackers sitting in the cupboard when the hurricane hit. Half empty and long forgotten, back behind the flour and the wall of canned milk. Cream cheese in the freezer, afraid of losing power. Make the best use of the perishables. Got that box of graham crackers coming to the rescue when the road was washed out. Why would a clothing store be handing out crackers? How did they get so many boxes to begin with? Did someone see a deal they couldn't walk away from? Did someone rob a truck and find a disappointing cargo? Did someone just believe a graham cracker could make your day? What kind of regulations did that giveaway fall under? I got this box of graham crackers free with a purchase at a second-hand store. So I sing that song and I mention canned milk in it, and I think I have no less than 3 songs that mention canned milk. I think I probably actually have more than 3 songs that mention canned milk. Deaf guitar players. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit more. But yes, every time I have this tendency to put these 2 songs back to back because canned milk shows up in both of them. This next song is not a true story. We should have had a lovely time, a pleasant evening shared with friends around the table gathered for a meal. Set the places all so nicely, matching linens, place cards too. I was so looking forward to the night. But no, instead we're here in this cave. I planned a dinner party, and we're a party of adventurers. I was prepared to face a mountain of dishes. Now I'm facing certain doom, and as I gaze upon the gaping maw of death, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk? The recipe it promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. By now the guests had all arrived, and in the kitchen did converge. The wine was set to breathing for our meal. The food was all prepared, only one thing left to go. When the timer rang, I beamed, the dessert. But no, instead we're here in this cave. How did my dinner party become a party of adventurers? I was prepared to seek out the finest vintage. Now I seek some magic sword, and as I gaze upon the teeth that could be swords, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk? The recipe it promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. And they all look to me like I'm some chosen one to lead us through this maze, return us to our home. With only oven mitts, craft beer apron for armor, I fear that we are destined not to have but to be dinner. And I wish I'd read less novels and spent more time at the gym. And as I'm slipping down the gullet to my doom, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk? The recipe it promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder just lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. Right, there's Under the Label. And that's on my Vagaries EP. I have two EPs. One is Whimsies, the other is Vagaries. And then I have an album, New Shoes, that has some very serious songs on it and some very not serious songs. But this next one is also from my album, my EP Vagaries. And it's a song about the beaches of Nova Scotia. And I grew up on the beaches of Newfoundland, which are rocky death traps. They're very, very beautiful, but you do not go into the water. And I was in southern Nova Scotia in 2019, and they have beautiful sandy beaches, and you can walk out into the water and swim, and it's glorious. And I was thinking of those beaches in the summer of 2020 when I was stuck in my very, very, very hot, overheated Montreal apartment, and I was dreaming about how nice it would be to be on the beach in Nova Scotia. Warm sun insignificant for me now. Down to drag along the bottom, dislodging snails and habitations. Hair like netting catches seaweed, tangles around my face and throat. Choking salt, spitting liquid, I'm ejected, used, exhausted. Bobbing like the wooden treasures. Shaped, softened, and displaced by the ocean. So I write a lot of songs. I write a lot of songs about nature. I'm very fond of nature. I like trees and water and rocks and creatures with all numbers of legs. But this next song came about after I read Herodotus one fall. And Herodotus wrote his histories because he was worried that he didn't want these stories to all disappear. He was like, all these things have happened, all these amazing things have happened, but time is going to march on, and they're just going to disappear if nobody writes them down. No one will remember them. And I'm very, I'm very taken with that idea, I think. And I had that in mind when I wrote this song. And one of the other things that whole idea of the march of time, but through the march of time, through human history, all of the other life, like the trees and the birds and the squirrels and the insects, they just go about doing their thing. And as far as we know, I don't think there's been, super massive changes. And so this is a song about a soldier's last moments on the battlefield. And this is going to be on my upcoming album. Peaceful cacophony of early morning rouses me. Lying there, my consciousness drifting, floating, sighing. Morning dew so refreshing, as is the breeze caressing my skin. I smell the dead, the blood that spilled all around me. I hear the life that thrives. It tears through our elaborate plans. Hear them mocking as petty our quarrels. Thought I'd sip from the cup of victory. Instead I lie here in this forest alive. Birds are circling overhead, their vibrant feathers gleam. Sun reflecting gold on steel, blinding, shining. Am I in some cathedral? To which God was it built? To whom should I pray? I smell the dead, It tears through all elaborate plans. Hear them mocking as petty our quarrels. Thought I'd sip from the cup of victory. Instead I lie here in this forest alive. I smell the dead, the blood that's spilled all around me. I hear the life that thrives after the battle. That was After the Battle, and it's going to be on my upcoming album Bloom and Grow, and I'm going to close the set off for you this evening with the title track, Bloom and Grow, which I released as a single in April, so that's out now. And I always like to end on a really uplifting note, and so this song is meant to uplift you. Running through the undergrowth, popping up to get a peek if the coast is clear enough to get away. Get away from all your thoughts, get out from your winter wrap, let the butterflies come out and flutter around. Bloom and grow, child, bloom and grow. Reach for the mountains, don't brace for the fall. Timing it for caution when the day is done. Window opened up for spring, moldy where the damp got in, where the paint is chipped away, cleared it off. Let the fresh air enter and let it rush through all your things, gather up the dust and make it blow away. Bloom and grow, child, bloom and grow. Reach for the mountains, don't brace for the fall. Timing it for caution when the day is done. When you hit the ground, chances are you'll bounce, and you'll be stronger, and you'll be wiser too. You'll still be foolish, but you won't mind so much. Mind so much. Summer's rays are streaking in, searchlight in the living room, pouring light on all the things you hide away. Memories folded in a drawer, thoughts you bundled up and stored, locked away, forgot till they came back around. Bloom and grow, child, bloom and grow. Embrace the moment, don't dwell on the fall. Leave the reflection till the day is done. When the day is done, when you hit the ground, chances are you'll bounce. Bloom and grow, bloom and grow, bloom and grow. Bloom and grow. So I thank you so much for joining me here this evening. I have been Kyla Tilley. I am a singer-songwriter. I am based in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada, and I've really enjoyed my week here at the Folk Alliance International in Kansas City. And I bid you all a fine, fine evening, and if you're here, maybe I'll see you in a room where we will listen to more amazing and wonderful music. Take care, everybody, and have a